Logan, first off, congratulations. Hard fight, hard-earned victory. Interestingly, talking to Scott Coker, he actually scored the fight for your opponent, MVP. What's your immediate reaction to that? Probably the first time you've heard that. So, what do you say to those who suggest that MVP might have done enough to win?
What rounds besides round 4? You know, I get it. It was, like I said, props to him. He's fast and explosive. But I won all those positions, and I took the fight where I wanted it. You know, and so if he would have wanted to keep it standing, then why didn't he? And so I won round 1, 2, 3, and 5. So I mean, if you think that besides round 4, clearly it was him. You know, and 1, 5, and 2 is clearly me. So I don't know. I guess people want to can score it. You know, that's why judging is the way it is in our sport. So good for him, I guess.
Fighting MVP is a very tricky proposition. You said so in the cage, and you know you were getting boots. Obviously, you're in MVP's backyard, but as someone who's been in there for 5 rounds with him, explain to us just how tough a proposition it is to deal with someone as uniquely skilled as him. How you dealt with it?
Yeah, you know, you watch his fights, and he KOs people and all these. So you have to be smart. You know, you have to stay back, long hands, good defense. You can't rush in. Everybody that's rushed in on him ends up flat or a broken skull or a broken jaw. He's a dangerous guy. So, you know, I've been competing at the highest level for a long time with wrestling and everything else, and that's where champions are made in those kind of fights. You find a way to win. You make it gritty. You pick your shots. You're tactical, because he's a guy that, you know, the first round it was kind of, you know, eye-opening to how fast he was, and then I had to find my spots. So, like I said, it's different watching him until you get in there and have to feel that distance and speed.
Just building on that, what was it like when he was having those taunting motions and wind up his hands in front of you? How difficult was it to stay focused on your game plan? Because obviously the idea of the taunting is to detract you and make you angry and cause a mistake within yourself, which obviously didn't happen. So what was your mindset when those things were happening?
Yeah, you know, in the 4th, you know, I didn't really throw a lot there because that's when you get hit and you try to match his speed, you know. So I kind of had to, you know, high guard. Daly did a good job when Daly fought him. You know, high guard. Same with Lima. They didn't throw a whole lot because when you try to get in a war with him, he gets out of the way and then he hits you. So, you know, like I said in the previous leading up to the fight, you had to stay focused for 25 minutes, and it's a mind game out there to stay focused. He's, you know, going in between his legs, up and down, making gestures with his hands. His feet are moving everywhere. Your mind, you know, fighting's a lot more detailed than the average person realize what's all processing through your brain in there during that fight.
And just in terms of, obviously you're holding the belt on your shoulder, how great does it feel to have the gold around you, and obviously you want to unify the titles down the line as well?
Yeah, you know, I started wrestling at 5 years old, same hometown as Brock Lesnar, you know, got to win state titles, but I went to college and I came up short 4 years in a row. You know, I was a 4-time All-American, but I never won gold. And the reason why I got into this sport was for this moment right now, and that's a lot of hard work. And you know, I dropped to my knees. My family was there. Like, they know how much this meant to me, and that's why I got into this sport, was become world champ, and it happened tonight.
Logan, I just want to ask about how you prepare for this fight. We obviously know Michael Venom Page has a very different frame. There's not very many people that sort of match the frame. I think the only guy that comes to mind really is Raymond Daniels, who's on the west coast of the States. How are the guys at Stanford MMA, so like guys like Robbie Lawler, Ian Gary, Jason Jackson, Gilbert, all the team there, how have they helped you prepare for this bout?
So when Gilbert fought Stephen Thompson, Raymond Daniels was out there. So I got to spend a little time with him even before, you know, I knew this. So I got to feel it a little bit. Jason Jackson, good friend of mine in my weight class. Delano Taylor, he fights at PFL. He's long, athletic. Ian Gary, good friend of mine at Sanford. All those guys are kind of long, rangy, good counter strikers, but they're not as fast as MVP. You know, like, and that's kind of what it what I kind of felt out there. I did a good job of not getting clipped hard. You know, I kind of saw things coming, had high guard, and so, but the guys at Sanford have helped me get this. You know, they're the reason I'm here. That whole coaching staff, from Kami Barzini, Jason Stroud, Robbie Lawler, Henry Hoof, Greg Jones, all those guys helped me get this.
Yeah. So another question, obviously online there's a lot of criticism about your style of fighting. Some people call it lay and pray, some people have described it as maybe a little bit boring, especially after last weekend's UFC bout between Carlos Esparza and Brazil News. Maybe a little bit of people getting a bit tentative about how they describe fights.
People on Twitter, people on Instagram that have never been in there. You know, thank you for watching. I appreciate those people, but you haven't felt it until you feel it. You know, people don't know how to react. Like, they've never been in that situation. So, you know, without the fans, we're nothing, and I get that. But when you have this much on the line, you have to find a way. You know, the paper says, what everything says is I'm world champ, and you know, I'm kind of sticking to that. You know, Bader's fight, you know, Bader's a good friend of mine, I know. It wasn't the most exciting fight, but he found a way to win. And at the end of the day, you know, we get in this sport to win. You know, we want to be entertainers, but this is also a sport. And at the end of the day, you know, being champ and being a winner is important too.
There was some questions about the scoring of the cards, and some people were saying maybe MVP should get a rematch. Now you've came to London, you fought MVP's hometown. If you were to offer a rematch, would it have to be in your hometown and under your rules?
I'm not interested in that right now. You know, right now it's I'm world champ, and we got to see what happens with Amasov. You know, prayers to him. I respect the hell out of him. We spent 15 minutes in there. We've both improved since then. Both became champ since then. So right now, I'm not interested in any rematch.
Logan, first of congratulations. Obviously, you're 14-1 now, and now the interim champ. We're in a place at the minute where welterweight seems to be one of the most competitive divisions in every organisation. How do you see yourself stacking up against some of the welterweights in other divisions, say in PFL and the UFC?
Yeah, you know, I train at Sanford MMA, so I spent a lot of time with Kamaru Usman, Gilbert Burns, who else is? The guys that fought for the belt. Usman's been there a long time. Mike Chandler's top 5 at lightweight. Robbie Lawler's a former champ. So, you know, Ian Gary's there. All these guys, you know, Delano Taylor, Jason, all these guys from different divisions. Shavkat's there. So we have a lot of guys. And listen, there's a reason why I have confidence when I go out and fight, and it's because I compete with guys like that. So I know where I'm at, and that's why I have confidence walking into my fights.